So who am I speaking with?
I'm Chris Ye. I'm the VP of Marketing of PBworks. I'm also a little-known angel investor in companies like PBworks and Ustream.
Awesome. So for those people who don't know, what is PBworks?
So PBworks is a collaboration software company like many of the companies here in Enterprise 2.0. And the main difference that we have is that we're very tightly focused on a couple of specific markets, which allows us, we feel, to deliver a better solution and get higher prices.
And I think the two markets you're in are very unique, and one is legal and the other one ad agencies, which are both service-oriented organizations, but very different in terms of their knowledge of and adoption of tech. So talk to me about behaviorally what you're seeing with those two.
Absolutely. It's pretty interesting if you think about it, because advertising agencies, Mad Men, glamorous, cutting edge, law firms, LA Law, tend to be seen as very hidebound and staid. And so they do have very different needs, and so we have to serve them with very different products. With the advertising agencies, what they're looking to do is they're in an environment where things are more complex than ever before. An agency isn't just an advertising agency anymore. It's an ad agency, a social media agency, a mobile agency. And so they need some way of coordinating both within the agency and with all the other partner agencies that they're working with. On the legal side, it's similar sort of situation, but a very different set of motivations. So on the legal side, they're dealing with the same kind of complexity, but instead of trying to come up with creative campaigns, they're working on legal issues and trying to win cases. So they really need things that are tightly locked down, extremely secure, and very easy to manage.
In terms of actual adoption and using your tool, because I know law firms in general were literally the last industry or companies in an industry to actually have computers in their offices. Are you finding that they're actually adopting these things easily, or is there a struggle?
Well, it's definitely a challenge. What we generally see is adoption that rises over time. A lot of the early adopters were smaller law firms. They have less to lose. They are more willing to jump on new things. Oftentimes it's a younger founder of a law firm, or maybe the second generation of the law firm. But we have also seen a significant uptick in the business sort of enterprise-wide for larger law firms. And that usually actually springs from an initial landing, a smaller landing within a single group that eventually expands into something that's much broader.
What have you noticed in terms of behaviorally, again, with the ad agencies and with the law firms, in that to get them to take the first step, because that's always, a little bit of a difficulty. I remember talking to Ross of formerly Social Text, now SlideShare, that he talks about wiki pause, people sort of delaying any kind of social engagement for fear of how people will react. So how do you get people to take that first step to publish things and then see how people will react?
Gotcha. I think part of the key is that we don't define it in terms of social. I mean, social is certainly part of what we do, but we really define it in terms of stuff that you need to do in order to perform your work. And what we do is we try to very heavily customize the products for exactly the things that people work with. So let's take the example of a law firm, for example. In general parlance, PBworks has a network of workspaces in which people have wiki functionality and project management and file sharing. And that's great for us techies to explain it. But for a law firm, the lawyer doesn't want to hear about workspaces and wiki pages. He wants to hear about client matters. He wants to hear about a case binder. He wants to hear about a deadline for a filing. And so what we do with our products is we actually customize everything, including the terminology, such that they feel comfortable with it. And the other thing that we do, instead of having a singular interface, I mean, we do have a single consistent interface across all our products, but we provide a way for our customer to really customize the front page of that interface. And the goal is for, say, an advertising agency to have access just to the things on the front page that they want to access. So instead of saying, hey, let me go to wikis, hey, let me go to files, it says, let me access current pitches, let me access case studies. And those 5 or 6 simple buttons that lead to the things that are used 90% of the time are a lot easier for people to get started with than learning a whole complete interface.
Chris, thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome. It's always a pleasure.